Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, lived a kind couple who longed for a child. They lived next to a magnificent garden, walled high and belonging to a powerful enchantress named Dame Gothel. The wife, expecting her first child, developed an intense craving for the beautiful Rapunzel lettuce growing in the enchantress's garden. Her husband, seeing her waste away, grew desperate. One night, he bravely climbed the wall to fetch some for her. He returned with a handful of the crisp green lettuce, and his wife ate it with delight. But her craving only grew stronger. She begged him to get more. So, the next night, he climbed the wall again. This time, as he gathered the lettuce, a chilling voice stopped him. It was Dame Gothel, her eyes blazing with fury. "How dare you steal from my garden?" she hissed. The man, terrified, pleaded for his life, explaining his wife's desperate craving. Gothel's expression softened slightly. "You may take all the Rapunzel you wish," she said, "but on one condition. You must give me the child when it is born." The man, seeing no other choice, numbly agreed. A few months later, a beautiful baby girl was born. As promised, Dame Gothel appeared and took the child away. She named her Rapunzel. Gothel raised Rapunzel as her own, and the girl grew up to be the most beautiful child under the sun, with long, magnificent hair as fine as spun gold. When Rapunzel turned 12, Gothel, fearing she would lose her, locked her away in a tall, secluded tower in the middle of a dense forest. The tower had no doors and no stairs, only a single room at the very top, with one small window. When Gothel wanted to visit, she would stand at the base of the tower and call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, that I may climb thy golden stair." Rapunzel, who had 2 long, thick braids, would unpin them, wind them round a hook by the window, and let them fall all the way to the ground. Gothel would then climb up the shimmering golden ladder of hair. Years passed, and Rapunzel grew into a lovely young woman. Her only companion was her own beautiful voice, which she used to sing enchanting melodies that echoed through the forest. One day, a handsome prince was riding through the woods when he heard her song. He was so captivated that he searched for days until he found the mysterious tower. He saw no way to enter, but was so enchanted by the voice that he returned every day to listen. One evening, hiding behind a tree, he saw an old woman approach the tower and call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." He watched in amazement as a cascade of golden hair fell, and the woman climbed up. The next day, at dusk, the prince went to the tower and mimicked the enchantress's call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." The braids tumbled down, and he climbed up. At first Rapunzel was frightened to see a man, as she had never seen one before. But the prince spoke to her gently, telling her how her singing had touched his heart. His kindness calmed her fears, and soon she found herself falling in love with him. He asked her to be his wife, and she agreed. They devised a plan. Each time he visited, he would bring a skein of silk, which she would weave into a ladder. Once it was long enough, they would escape together. They met in secret for months, and Gothel knew nothing of their rendezvous. But one day Rapunzel, without thinking, said to Gothel, "You are so much heavier to pull up than the young prince. He is with me in a moment." Gothel shrieked in rage, "You deceitful child! I thought I had protected you from the world, but you have betrayed me." In her fury, she grabbed a pair of scissors and snipped off Rapunzel's beautiful braids. Then she used her magic to cast Rapunzel out into a desolate wasteland to fend for herself. That evening, when the prince called out, Gothel let down the severed braids. The prince climbed up, only to be met by the vengeful enchantress. "You came for your songbird," she cackled, "but the cat has got her, and she will sing no more. You will never see her again." In despair, the prince leaped from the tower. He survived the fall but was blinded by the thorns below. For years, the prince wandered the wilderness, blind and heartbroken, surviving on roots and berries, calling out Rapunzel's name. Meanwhile, Rapunzel gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and lived a humble life in the wasteland. One day, the prince stumbled into the part of the wilderness where Rapunzel lived. He heard a familiar, beautiful voice singing a sad, sweet song. He followed the sound and called her name. Rapunzel recognized his voice and ran to him. They fell into each other's arms, weeping with joy. As her tears of happiness fell upon his face, they miraculously healed his eyes. His sight was restored, and the first thing he saw was his beloved Rapunzel and their two beautiful children. He led them back to his kingdom, where they were welcomed with great celebration, and they all lived happily ever after, their love a testament to the hope that can be found even in the darkest of times.